Hello. Welcome to another episode of Confessions of a Dog Trainer. My name is Bethany. If you are new here, because I cannot believe this. Some people find me through the podcast, which makes me so happy. I assume people come to the podcast through Instagram, but um, yeah, so hello. I'm so happy you're here. Uh, Let me do this before I forget, because it's my little hello to my dad and the reason that I'm doing podcasts again, this podcast. Um, I've got my cup of joe. I'll wait for you to get yours. A little hello to my dad. My favorite little coffee cup, if you can see it. So tomorrow I get a new dog in, tomorrow afternoon, reactive dog. So I'm super excited to share about that. I love getting reactive dogs in. It's my favorite kind of dog to work with and the usual kind of dog I get in. Um, Many of you, so this is for trainers, but owners, if you're listening, that makes me so happy. Many of you know that you will get dogs in every now and then that make you question if you want to be a dog trainer. Um, it happens every now and then where I think, oh, I just do not want to do this ever again. And it's not really any fault of the owner, or it's just some dogs are more difficult. Anxious dogs are usually something that makes me question why I'm doing this. But then you'll get a dog in who, like the dog I just had, Susie, total angel. It was so much fun working with her. And so then you get another dog in who's like, oh, this is why I do this. This is so rewarding. And it can feel crazy at times. But just a little side note, those of you who are newer to dog training or thinking about becoming a dog trainer, it can look really great on social media, but there is inevitably a dog who comes in, or an owner who makes you think, why am I doing this? But everything's always a lesson. That's what I like to think, or feedback. It's just like I like to tell owners, it's feedback, not a setback. Like if their dog has a reactive moment, it's like that's good feedback for you. It's not very rarely a setback when you're working with your dog. Anyway, okay, so I'm getting sidetracked, but I was talking with a trainer a few months ago, and she asked me this question, and I thought it would be a cool episode. I'm always thinking, what would I want as a newer trainer? What are the resources I wish were out there when I was a new trainer? Same with like owners. If I was a struggling dog owner, what's the content I would want to see? What's the resource I would want to read through, or the video or the podcast I'd want to listen to? And this episode is no different. Okay, so if I went back in time, oh wait, first can I tell you my obsession with sourdough things? I've been making sourdough English muffins this week, and I'm obsessed. And then I'm getting a standing mixer today to make sourdough pizza dough because we have pizza every Friday. Anyway, okay, I'm very excited, so I had to add that in here. Okay, so if I started my dog trainer business from scratch today, what are the things that I would focus on? Because I'm sure many of you know there's a lot of things, you think you should be doing. What should you spend time on? What's most important to grow your business? It can be overwhelming. So these are the things based on my experience, based on things I've learned, lessons, failures, great stuff, all the things. These are the things I would focus on. Okay, I made some notes, a little list so I wouldn't forget, because I do tend to get a little chatty and sidetracked. Okay, number one, I would write down the kind of owner and dog I want to work with. So let me preface by saying I am a woo-woo kind of girl. I love a vision board. I will bring it around with me in the house so I can look at it at all times. I think subconsciously we attract things to us that we don't even know we're kind of working towards. And that is the power of either a vision board or writing things down. It can be so simple. This is something I did when I first started my dog training business, and it's based on because I was a part of a community that was very inspiring and motivated me to do this. I'll talk about that in just a minute. I would write down my dreams and my goals. Every single day I would write them down. I don't do that anymore. I really think I should. And I'm thinking about doing that again because I'm kind of in a space where I'm going into my 7th year of being a trainer, having my board and train business, and then also my online resources. And I like the feeling of being really clear about my goals and the direction that I'm going, because I've kind of gotten into a mood where I'm like, I kind of just want to open a bread shop and like be a bread baker. But I also love when I have a dog and owner and especially when they're like my dream dogs and owners. There's nothing like it. It feels so rewarding, and I love that process. But I'm at a point where there's different things I want to work on, like website stuff, blogs, ways to help more owners and dogs, other than just my board and train and showing up on Instagram, because I really do enjoy not being on Instagram. But this is, my 7th year of doing this, where when I first started, I loved showing up. It felt very exciting. But I think taking some time, it can literally just be a 10-minute exercise. Write down the owner you want to work with, get really clear about it. Like mine is, and I swear when I wrote this down, I started attracting these kinds of owners to me and dogs. But the owner piece to me is so much more important than the dog, to be honest, because the owner is, everything depends on the owner and their piece of the puzzle. The dog stuff, I think that, of course, you need experience and feeling more confident. The more that you work with dogs, you will feel more confident in your abilities to what you can do, with your program or your one-on-ones or whatever it is. But the owner side of things is so important. That's something I've learned, that prioritizing my program about the owner, the dog is kind of secondary. How am I going to help the owner continue this process at home and feel confident that they can do it on their own and they can handle situations when I'm not there to coach them and encourage them? So my owner, I'm pretty sure what I wrote down was, I want to work with owners that I could get a beer with or a coffee with and sit down and feel like friends and comfortable talking with. And I love working with owners who are 100% all in, and kind of, I call them like A+ students, where they want to get things right and they want to get their details right and read through the guide or go home guide. I also love owners who respond to stories that I post on Instagram, that they're engaged. And because I work with owners sometimes who, many of you will know this, when you post stuff on Instagram, that's where I primarily post about the dogs that I work with. It's so much easier than sending videos to an owner. And you can also help other owners along the way who are following on Instagram. I just like that process. I love when an owner is responding and like, oh, I love this, this is great, or this made me think of this goal that I have. Where some owners don't say anything, don't ever respond. I also send pictures through text daily, and because I enjoy taking pictures of dogs with my camera. I love an owner that gives really good feedback. That probably, like, of course we all do, but you can find owners that really nurture that part of like my creative process. When I share something with an owner, I love getting feedback that is like, it's reciprocal to what I've put into it, So that's part of my vision for my owner that I wrote down. And also the kind of dog you want to work with. I don't like working with anxious dogs, so that's not on my dream list. My dream dog is like a pushier, younger-ish dog. You can be specific too. What age do you want to work with? What age do you not want to work with? Like, I don't want to work with a dog who's 10 and older. I feel like I have worked with a couple of dogs like that, and I think they've spent so much time learning these behaviors that it's really hard. And sometimes it feels like, I don't want to be the one to like redo things with this dog. So anyway, it could be different for you. I love working with reactive dogs. That was a big focus for me. And to this day, I love working with reactive dogs. I think it's just such a transformative process. It can be. And e-collar training can be so amazing to help empower an owner when they go back home with their dogs so they can feel more confident. And that's a big priority for me. So writing down, getting clear about the owner and dogs you want to work with, I think it helps you get clear about the content you want to share. That's a big thing that is holding a lot of you back. I know. What do I share on Instagram? What do I write on my website? What does my copy look like? There's so many ways to go about it. And when you're trying to help all owners and all dogs, it's hard to pinpoint what your messaging can look like. Mine, when I'm creating a graphic on Instagram or a blog post or the copy I put on my website, I'm speaking to a very specific owner. So it's easier. Writing copy is not easy. It can really trip you up because you want to get things right, or, there's a lot of words to use. So, but if you know who you want to work with, you can speak to that person, so it's helped me in my creative process. Um, to really narrow down who I want to work with, what kind of dog I want to work with. It doesn't mean you won't work with other dogs or there can't be exceptions, but it helps with the creative process. So take some time to do that today or ASAP. I promise you it will make such a big difference, maybe even without you realizing it, but getting clear on that helps. Okay. Number 2, create a resource to give to your owner. I wish I would have done this sooner. When I first started as a dog trainer, the go home guide was a really popular thing, but also trainers did not share their go home guides. There was none of that. There was no put my go home guide on my website for sale so other people can get it to be inspired by or whatever. It did not happen. And I hated that. It made me really upset. I think it just aggravated me because a couple of other trainers had a go home guide from a local trainer that is in Orlando where I live, and she wouldn't let local trainers shadow her. That's the only way you could get her go home guide. And there was like a rumor that she had the best go home guide. And I didn't want to take the time to create my own. It's a lot of work. So I wanted that go home guide so that, and this is sneaky. And like, I think this happens, I wanted to give that guide to my owners, just as something to have. Okay. So that's slightly copying, slightly just being lazy and being like, here's someone else, another trainer's go home guide. Here you go. But so I didn't get it. I actually ended up getting it. One of those trainers sent it to me, but it was a lot of one, it was specific to that trainer and her wording. And I think it's important when you want your owners to understand your philosophy, things you want them to do, how you feel about training. It's different from trainer to trainer. Personalizing the messaging, I think, is really important. And it feels really good. So I ended up having another trainer friend of mine gave me hers. It was like a 5-page thing. I really just wanted, I think a lot of people get this. I really just wanted something to give to owners. It didn't even matter if it was me. I didn't want to take the time to create my own. It was very overwhelming, but I wanted something to give to an owner. And so I gave that one to maybe like 3 owners. And each time I was like, oh, this just doesn't feel like, this isn't really me. And she gave me permission. She was like, yeah, go ahead, give it to owners, whatever. But it didn't feel good. And it was all text, which I'm not against, but I really love pictures and like colors, and that's more my style. So I created my first go home guide. I've probably said that, you probably heard me say this, so I apologize. I don't like repeating things. I ended up putting it on my website to sell. Couldn't believe people wanted to buy it, but at the time, no one was sharing their go home guide. So it was kind of like an exciting thing. And to this now, I've redone mine multiple times so that it really feels good for who I am and the questions I get from owners. And when you have a go home guide that has FAQ, the tools that you use and the buttons and the labels and how to do certain things, or just writing through ideas that you have that you find yourself saying to owners all the time, it makes your life so much easier as a trainer. I wish I would have spent more time on this when I first started. And I just think it would have created, I think it would have helped my owners feel more confident when they go home. I like to preface it now as it is their homework. This is a big part, I think, that a lot of trainers are missing, where a lot of I'm speaking as like trainers as a whole, from trainers that I've heard, feedback, stuff, where a trainer will hear from an owner that they're struggling when they go home from, let's say, the board and train program, and the trainer gets frustrated, like, oh, well, why aren't you doing the things I asked you to do? Like, and it's an owner blaming kind of thing. I think we've all been there. I'm sure I was when I first started, but it's not the owner's problem. It can be, there's always, whatever the issue is. But if you are not giving an owner resources to read or look through or watch after your program, that is a you problem. And that's something that you can fix. And I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. I get the comment all the time from owners I work with that they're very appreciative that they have something they can reference. It makes me feel more confident that they have something. So even if I miss talking about something at the go home session, they can go and look at it afterwards. So I created a go home guide template for you. This is something I would have loved. It is so overwhelming to create a go home guide from scratch. So I have one for you that has a lot of actually stuff that I have in my own personal go home guide. Graphics. I even added in some copy in there so you don't have to think as much about what to write. So I will link that in the show notes. And there's a video. If you go to the link, you can look through what exactly is in the Go Home Guide to make sure it is a good fit for you. But it is so easy. It's a plug and play thing. You open up the template, you can make it into your own. So I hope it gives you the head start you need so you don't feel as overwhelmed and you can feel more confident giving something to your owner. Because I'm telling you, it is such a confidence boost. It helps you feel like you are preparing your owner and, ticking off all the boxes. Because when you don't have something, it can feel kind of the opposite. Okay. 3, work with your own dogs or friends' dogs to use for content purposes. So when I first got into dog training, I was a dog walker, which I think helped because I had dogs to work with. Not everyone was okay with me using the e-collar, but some were okay with me using a prong collar. So I would take some footage and do like a before and after of rushing out the front door. I remember this golden doodle I walked who was, crazy on the walk. And so I just did a little clip of here's before the prong collar, here's after. You don't have to be sharing stuff that's like, I know it can feel intimidating where you're probably comparing to other trainers online and your content should be like theirs, or if you really like someone's content and you're comparing, that's always going to happen. But if you focus on, let me get some footage, it could even just be B-roll, which is just getting video of you working with a dog. And then when you get home, you can kind of dissect it, make it shorter, add a little voiceover to it, or whatever you want to do. But if you have some footage, who knows what you can do with it? It's kind of like bulk, what is it? Batching, when people say batching content where you do it like on a Monday for your whole week. Well, for your video stuff, if you're working with dogs for free, your friends, your personal dogs, no one knows, no one cares if it's your personal dogs. Excuse me, but if you're sharing what is possible for owners that you want to work with, that is all they want to see. They want to see what is possible for them. And using family and friends' dogs without the pressure of getting paid to work with them. Or you can ask, can I take your dog for a walk and pay me $20? I don't know. But I think there's a lot of power in working with dogs for free, just to create some content and get that ball rolling, because it can take a while to get paying clients. And that is something that can stop a lot of trainers from even starting. It's like, well, what if I don't have dogs to work with? Start reaching out to friends, start reaching out to family, neighbors' dogs. People just want some help. And if, they even trust you a little bit, I think they'll be like, yeah, sure. You want to help my dog for free? Great. So that is something I would recommend. I did that with my board and train. The first dog was for free. And let me tell you, if you are nervous about charging, which most people are, by the way, read the book, You're a Badass at Making Money. I'm listening to that on Audible for the 4th time because a trainer friend of mine told me she's finally reading it from me telling her to read it, because I can't tell people enough. It's such a great book. And each time I listen to it, I pick up something different. And it will help you so much with the money stuff because that can really hold you back. But if you're nervous about that, don't charge for the first dog. That's my opinion. It creates a lot less stress on your part. It helps you feel more confident with just getting experience and helping an owner without the pressure of they paid me this much, so I should really get them results that maybe you're not ready to give yet. But experience is really helpful. So first dog was free for me. The second dog I think was $750. And then the third dog, I think I went up to $1,200, I think, or maybe $1,000. I don't know, but I wanted to charge more. And that was exciting to me, but also it's a lot of pressure. So until you feel prepared to help an owner reach their goals, keep that in mind. I think you should be charging, and you will see that when you listen to You're a Badass at Making Money. It will make you want to ask people, charge certain things and feel really confident doing it, and I want that for you. But working with dogs and owners for free at first helps you get, some experience under your belt, which I think is super helpful for your confidence as a trainer. Okay, number 4, invest in some kind of trainer seminar for community and inspiration. So I went to one of these. It was like a week-long thing. It was out in California um, when I was a dog walker and I wanted to start a dog training business. At the time, it was a big investment and we really didn't have the money for it necessarily, or it wasn't something that we could just be like, yeah, let's do it, no problem. But it was worth every penny and more because they don't offer it anymore. But because I met other people who wanted similar things, other trainers, it created a community for me where I was coming from a space of being a dog walker pet sitter. I was very lonely. I would call Bobby on days crying, like, can you come home? I'm so lonely. And I wanted more. I wanted a different schedule. I wanted to make more money to help our family. And that seminar helped start, it gave me a head start in my confidence, in my inspiration. It helped me feel, I'm going to say confidence a lot because it really, I think your confidence as a trainer is so important, and it's so easy to hold yourself back when you don't have a support group. And when you pay for something that feels like an investment to be around other people who want something similar to you, it's, I think it's invaluable. It's something that you will have forever. I still to this day talk to trainers that I went to that seminar and met. I actually went to it twice because I loved the first experience so much. And it was a couple years later when I was feeling like, oh, I want that feeling again of feeling motivated and excited. And like, I just want a fresh start in my business. Kind of just like a pep in my step. And I wanted community again. I was feeling lonely as a dog trainer. And I loved my first experience. And again, it did the same for me. Like I met one of my very best friends there, Kate from Canine Training. And okay, so they don't offer this anymore. Kate and I created our own trainer seminar. We call it Trainer and You Mastermind. Our next one is in May in Wisconsin. So I will link that in the show notes. We have a handful of seats left, and I'm so excited. This is our 4th one. You can go to the link and see reviews from people, from other trainers. It is the coolest experience. It's everything Kate and I dreamed of. It's like the seminar we went to, but better. We just added things to it that we thought were missing, that we really wanted. And it's something we would want as newer trainers, or just a trainer who has been in the business and you want to get more into the owner side of things. It's a heavy owner focus, heavy content focus, heavy you focus, and heavy program focus. There's no dogs at this seminar. It's not dog training stuff because we believe that the owner side of things and the program side of things is something that you're missing. And we want to help you put that piece in your successful dog trainer business puzzle. So that is in May, and the link is in the bio to apply. I hope you will be there. It's the best experience. I can't wait. Okay, so number 5, do things daily that make you feel more confident. So there was a time in my business where, if you're anything like me, so Kate, my bestie at Canine Training, she is so disciplined. She's been a great influence on me with all kinds of things, working out, getting into weightlifting, eating better, and overall just being more disciplined in my business because I'm a type B personality. An owner just mentioned this the other day. She was saying she's a type B, but a type A with something else. And I've always felt like I wish I was a type A personality. I'm a type A with stuff like cooking. I'm so good at cleaning up after myself, and I think I'm type A with that, but I'm type B with a lot of things, or I'm a little bit more laid back. When I'm working in Canva on content, I am type A. I'm like laser focused, and I just forget everything else exists. It's like getting into your flow, that's usually a sign that you're doing something you love and you should do more of. But with your business as a dog trainer, a lot of times you work for yourself and it's just you. And for a while, it was just me in the house with the dogs. And when I wasn't working with a dog, I had time to do whatever I wanted. So I would choose to watch TV or just kind of be lazy instead of, not that you always need to be doing something to feel more confident, but when I would put my head down at night to go to sleep, I would feel regret and feel like I didn't work towards my goals. Um, I don't really feel proud of myself for what I worked on today. So I think one thing that has really drastically changed my business and who I am as a trainer is that I spend time daily prioritizing things that help me feel more confident as a person. So it doesn't always have to be dog training stuff, but I think if you're going to show up on social media, which is a very vulnerable thing, super vulnerable, I think it's really important for your training business because people want to see who you are. But it can feel like I do not want to show up on Instagram or write a blog post. Like, who am I to do this? Or, who's going to listen to me? Or I'm a new trainer. Like, why would anyone listen to what I'm saying? But when you prioritize your confidence and every day you're working on feeling better about yourself, you will feel more confident showing up and saying what you want to say and spreading your message and creating your graphic. And who cares if people don't like it? You're sharing for the person, the owner, the trainer who you are sharing for, who needs what you're saying because they are out there. So I think when you start to prioritize things that make you feel good about yourself, it could be baking bread or working out or paying attention to what you're eating or whatever it is for you, that's just as important as being a good dog trainer. Because when you feel good about yourself, you show up in a way that owners need you to show up. You're showing up as your best. You're showing up as your best for the dogs you work with, which makes you feel really good. Like I put everything into my program today. I checked off, my goals for today with the dog. I messaged the owner or gave them that go home guide, and you feel good about what you're doing. It helps you feel more confident as a trainer. And it really has nothing to do with your skills as a dog trainer. I think this is something when I first got into dog training, I thought I had to be the best dog trainer to have a successful business. And it's just not true. Yes, you will learn more as you work with more dogs, but focusing on helping your owners have the best experience and creating the resources for them that can help them thrive, then the dog training stuff, that will come with time. And now I think of the dog training stuff as that is the easier part of things. Now my goal is, okay, this owner has these goals. They're struggling with these issues. How can I communicate with them in a way that helps them feel supported and confident and excited to do this back at home? That to me is a priority, and it helps me feel more confident as a trainer. Okay, so I hope that these things help. They are the top 5 things I would focus on. You don't need, and I'm sure you're wondering, should I have a website? Should I have business cards? You can do all of those things, but it's not absolutely necessary. I think if you have a go home guide where you have all of your information to give to an owner that you work with, I think that's more important. Then when you start to be like, okay, I want someone to have like a landing page to go to. So this is a bonus tip. So I had 5 tips, but this is something I do believe strongly in. I didn't do it for a couple of years, and it did make a difference when, someone inquires about training and they have somewhere to go. I would recommend Squarespace. So this is the website platform I use. I find it super user-friendly. You can go to my website to get some inspo, walkingdogtraining.com. You do not have to have all the things I have. You do not need to be selling leashes. You do not need to be selling ebooks just yet. I want you to first focus on things that will simplify your life as a trainer and your owner's life. And then you can start to branch out. But when you go to my website, there's a lot of things, but it's been over the course of 7 years. So please keep that in mind. It was not like that in the beginning. My website was actually completely different, where we paid 2 guys to do the website and to keep up with it. And it was a great experience. They were so awesome. But Squarespace I now do on my own. I manage it myself, and it's very user-friendly. So you can go on there, you can pick actually like a template to use. There's so many different tools now that are really helpful, and just create like a landing page where it has a contact form. And again, you can go to my website and copy my questions that I ask. I really don't care, but you can create that space where you have like your pricing and like your email and a contact form so you can reach back out to them. But I think that is also a helpful next step. It's not absolutely necessary in the beginning, but it does help you get more information about a dog and owner, the contact form, um, and help you kind of just know if they're the right fit for you, have their goals and stuff in one space where initially you could talk to them on the phone and write down stuff. But Squarespace is where I would recommend starting a website. Super user friendly. Okay, I hope that this was helpful. Yeah, please let me know if you listen and if anything gave you like, oh, I need to start working on that today. Thank you. I love feedback from you. It's always so reassuring and helps me feel more confident when doing this episode. Although I don't need you to boost me up or anything. I love doing this, and this is what I would have wanted as a newer dog trainer, trainers sharing their advice, things they've learned, lessons, and that is what I'm here for. If you have any other questions and you'd like to talk through some more things in a more personalized manner, set up a coaching call with me. It's 30 minutes, $65. I think it's like a reassurance call. That's what we like to call them these days. And I hope you do because I love talking with trainers. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Again, all the links are in the show notes. And until next time, bye.